Good evening and welcome to the 2017 UIAA Ice Climbing World Championships. My name is Liam Lonsdale and we are live from Champagny-En-Vanoise. So far today we've seen incredible action in both the lead and speed qualifying events, and we are almost ready to turn our attention to the lead semi-finals. The World Championships mark the conclusion of the ice climbing competition season, and we have been all over the world. We started the season in Durango, before heading to Asia for rounds in Beijing and Cheongsong. Then we travelled to Europe, where we had two iconic and impressive rounds in Saas-Fee and Rabenstein. Let's take a few minutes to recap on some of the action from those events. Big reach out to the ice barrel with the right hand for Angie Rayner. 1 minute and 11 seconds on the clock. Come on, Hannah Ray. 30 seconds to go. She needs to find it. That's it. Hannah Ray Song powering out. What a great effort. Jung Park hits the hold with the left hand. Kicks into the underside of that arch. And he cuts loose, but he sticks in. 5 seconds to go. Jung Park sits in first place. And what a hero. What a winner.
This is going to be a tie. He has to match.
Come on, Alexei. He's got 2 seconds.
He has to let go.
He's not let go. That's from Maria Tolokanina of Russia. Of course, we know this girl can go. She's got more overall titles and speed than anyone. And that was an awesome finish from Maria Tolokanina.
Getting a lot of reach out of there.
Very quick.
Yeah, very fast time. Wow, what a rhythm. Short movement, but so strong.
Nick Malik, very good, has had a really good season so far. Hasn't quite had the success that he'd be looking for, but here he's looking in great form. Bam, 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 bam. Wow. Unbelievably quick at our first sub 9 second. 8.87 seconds. She's feeling very, very fast. It would be her first gold medal of the season, and she's been trying all season to get it. I'd love it to happen now. She's moving really quickly. Big finish. Maria Tolokanina, very, very quick. Presses up. Oh, wow. 12.48. Still not fast enough to beat Katerina Feoktistova. Igor Trapeznikov in a really good time here. 9.34 seconds. Shot just topped in 9.23 seconds. Keep it together, Carter. Come on, Vladimir. And it's an amazing time of 9.24. Oh, 0.01 of a second behind Batashov. Come on, Muncheon Shin. She's so close. All she's got to do is clip that rope. She reaches. Oh, no. She can't make the clip and she's going to time out. Muncheon Shin times out. Come on, Angie. 45 seconds on the clock. Hits it the third time. Awesome work from Angie Reiner. And this is the part where she needs to open up. She's got less than 40 seconds to climb all the way to the top of this structure. Oh, no, and the tool pops, but she hangs it. Amazing. Oh, no, she's off. There's the match.
52 seconds.
With 52 seconds on the clock, Maria Tolokanina. Hannah Raisong just has to match. There's the match, and ladies and gentlemen, Hannah Raisong, the overall champion, lays her claim to the gold medal here in Rabenstein. But it's no top for Maxim Tomilov. That is time up as he reaches for that last barrel. Even when there's no feet on, kicks in hard and high. Classic Swiss Air style. 3 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock for Yannick Letard. Another big move. Oh no, he's off! I can't believe it! Yannick Latart's fallen! Kyung Park has got less than 10 seconds to make this clip. Oh no, he can't make it! The rope track's just so intense! Makes the clip, reaches up and he's on the buzzer! Oh, 3, 2, 1, and there's Kyung Park with the classic backflip. Some stunning footage there, and of course in front of you now on the screen is the competition venue. It was the two Koreans that took the overall lead World Cup titles. We'll be keeping a close eye on them climbing on this very structure this evening to see if they're on form for 4 victories in a row. Speaking of the competition structure, we are situated right now in the valley just above Champagny in the La Plagne region. Let's find out a little bit more about our host resort.
So I think Easter is quite a good time to go out since it's got longer days. The snow's very easy to ski on and just fun.
The scale of the mountains, the variety in the landscape, and ski in, ski out makes life so easy. Just get up in the morning, straight in the lift and straight on the slope.
Snow is fantastic, it's really nice. Children can learn so easily, it's warm, they can play, so they can just keep going all day long. It's lovely.
When you ski with the children, they can be totally beginners the first day, and in 2 or 3 days you can ski with them, and you have a lot of different runs to do.
I like skiing in the plan because it's really nice to be with the ski teachers because they stick together with you.
Wherever you are in the plan, it doesn't make any difference. There are so many ski lifts and gondolas and chairs going off in different directions. How can you beat this? To have an environment like this where we've got the whole mountain to ourselves, the snow everywhere. I'm lost for words. I'm coming up here and I'm like, wow.
And so, a quick look there at this stunning landscape that we're surrounded by. Before we get going, I'd like to take a quick opportunity to say a huge thank you to our sponsors. The North Face, of course, are the title sponsor of the UIAA Ice Climbing World Cup and World Championships. Of course, the UIAA are a crucial part of the whole process. FFCAM, who are the local federation that are behind this wonderful competition that you've got in front of you. And at this point, I'd like to welcome to the broadcast Mr. Ian Hansen. Ian, good evening.
Good evening.
How are you?
Pretty good.
Excellent. Looking at this competition structure, well, it looks quite fantastic.
Yeah, there's a lot of ice, and it's a really interesting structure.
How does it differ from the other structures that we've seen so far this season?
Well, the first thing that stands out right away is all of the ice, and then this structure has, a couple of different legs that come down, which makes it interesting to watch, but very interesting to climb.
Lots of intricate pathways to be taken.
The next thing that we noticed right away is that it's a lot smaller. It's a lot, well, not necessarily smaller, but thinner, which means that you have to be more delicate with your climbing.
And on that structure now, for the first time this evening, we get to see our first competitor, and that is, of course, Daria Minina of Russia. This is the first competition we've seen Daria at this season. And here she goes. So, Ian, just quickly explain what that orange tape is above Daria there.
So the orange tape there, we can see that there's the ice continues up to the left, and she's not allowed to use the ice above or to the left of that red line.
Okay. And so she's climbing up the ice and then actually straight immediately onto some plywood.
Yeah, and the plywood here is a bit softer than other places, which your feet get in there really well, but that also means that you might get your foot stuck.
So 18 ladies and 19 men through to the semi-finals this evening. We had a tie in the men's. We had two groups climbing in the men's, one group in the ladies, just due to the number of athletes. Men and women are climbing simultaneously. We'll be doing our best to bring the individual action on both competitions as and when we can. And there, look, is Alexander Veron of Switzerland. Athletes have got 7 minutes and 30 seconds in both competitions, men's and ladies, to climb these routes. And as you look at the screen, Alexander there is climbing the left side of the structure, and Daria, as you saw her shortly, a few moments ago rather, was climbing on the right side. If you want to get in touch with us here at the World Championships, it's very easy to do. Use that hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing, or of course, you can just drop us a comment in the live chat on Facebook or YouTube. And if you're tuned in on the Olympic channel, then we're definitely looking forward to hearing from you guys. Of course, we'll be bringing you all the action and information as it happens. And of course, as we have information about what's happening, we'll be able to give it to you. And of course, the final broadcasting option this evening, we are very multifaceted, is of course Twitter. If you tuned in on Twitter, use that hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing and let us know where you're tuning in from. Alexander Veron locking down off that right hand up to a big and what looks like insecure left hand move there.
Yeah, it was nice to see him switch up his technique there and actually be able to manage that next hold, and it looks like he's making good progress now.
He picked up his pace quite considerably between the first couple of moves and these moves. You saw him really accelerate to get the dynamic movement in those last two moves.
Yeah, sometimes it's easy to just get stuck doing one thing, and it's good to see these competitors be able to think, while they're climbing and change up what they maybe planned on doing.
So Alexander Veron there, just making his way up the plywood, and you can see he's reached a bulge there. That bulge in the ply marks about halfway of that part of the structure. It then continues further again before reaching a roof, which is quite some way above him. He's got 4 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock. Dropping in that figure four, and of course a figure four is when, in this instance, he puts his right leg, and he's off. Alexander Veron just kicks his own hand off there, trying to readjust on the fig four. That's a shame for Alexander. Low fall there. Daria Manina still climbing on the right hand side. We got anything on Daria, sir?
She's just out of focus. We need to fix that.
Okay. Now let's see that replay again of Alex. You could just see, Ian. How hard is it to maintain the focus and the grip in a fig four like that when you're trying to get a big reach?
Well, it really depends on the hold you're talking about. Sometimes a figure four can really lock the hold into place, whereas other times the hold is skatey, and trying to kick your feet up like you did just there just pushes you right off the hold, as we just saw.
Well, there's Daria Manina. Very hard for us to actually see her climbing because she's on the inside of the structure, and where we're sat in the commentary booth is actually the opposite side of that big ice wall that we can see on the right hand side of the screen. What we can see is that Daria is high grip on that right hand tool. She needs to reach up and make the clip with the left hand, and of course clips are very important parts of this route. One for safety, but two for points. The more clips you get, the more points you get. Daria Manina moving well so far, Ian.
Yeah, it looks like she's making it up into the upper section of this first head wall and about to transition into the ice to the left of her. Maybe make the clip before she does that.
It's a long clip above the head. She reaches up with that right hand. You see the left tool just shuffling a little bit, manages to make it nevertheless. And that's a great angle. You can see where she's got to climb. She has to come over to her left, so actually away from where you just saw, underneath the ice and underneath that roof section.
Yeah, so she's actually
Up the-
underneath the bit of wall that we just saw.
Yeah, and up the other side.
Transitioning into the figure 4, and you can see that here she has to do a big reach into the roof.
Big left hand into the fig 9. Figure 9, of course, when the left hand in this instance is below the left leg. Another big reach high above her for that clip. Opting to clip high most of the time, Ian.
Yeah, I think she's focusing on trying to get the points, trying to make it further into the next round of competition.
Oh,
there
and she's down.
Yeah, it sounded like maybe a timeout. No, but still
No,
plenty
she
of
had
time
1
on
minute
the.
20 on the clock. I think it looked like maybe she powered out.
Yeah.
Nevertheless, in the ladies' competition next, we'll have Coralie Jarry, but here climbing in the men's semi-final is Simon Welfringer of France. Our first French athlete. Lots of French through. 4 French men and 2 French women through to the semi-finals, Ian.
Yeah, we have a great French showing here in France.
That's
It's,
the best
yeah.
results of the year this far.
Yeah, it was. We have a bit interesting results today, and it's great to see a lot of strong French competitors representing.
Now, one result that I would like to pick up on is that of the Tomilov brothers, Alexei and Maxim Tomilov. Maxim, of course, the reigning world champion in lead. Alexei Tomilov, who's had a good season. He took silver in Saas-Fee. Neither of the Tomilov brothers made it through to the semi-finals this evening.
And that is exactly what I was thinking of when I said that it was interesting results today. But still a lot of very strong competitors.
What's
and
happened there?
should be with the Tomilov brothers. I didn't see them climb myself. They were both ahead of me on the route, so I wasn't able to watch them. But I saw a lot of competitors timing out pretty low on the route.
While Simon Welfringer just looking for this best position. You can see over that left hand where we actually saw Alexander Vering opt for the fig 4. Simon has opted to lock down that deep left hand, which looked very insecure, but he's made it. And the change in angle causing a lot of difficulties, struggling to get the weight through his feet. Moves up this time, kicking high into the ply above the bulge.
Yeah, I think on this route that we're seeing right now, that bulge is actually giving the competitors a bit of an awkward position before reaching up into the right hold that we see just below his hip there.
And you see him just matching in with that left tool. He's got the right placed. Very delicate and powerful position at the same time. Reaches high off the left hand in that undercut position to the right. Just obscured by the ice there. Makes that clip again above his head. Moving really well with 4 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock. Simon Welfringer of France. Another big lot. Oh, and his right hand just pops. Manages to hold that great body tension there. The rest of his body barely even moved. Very good strength shown there by Mr. Welfringer. Reaches up with that right hand and hits it this time, locking down that shoulder. Another big move coming in.
Let's see how he does this now.
Reaches up off that right hand into
Just
another undercut.
Yeah, searching for the right position, and it looks like he's got it there.
And his right hand cuts, but he manages to hold that position. Really impressive work there from Monsieur Welfringer. Very, very hard.
And if you notice, it looks like the head of the tool is floating as well, so I don't think he was able to get that into a Stein position.
Incredible work there. I have to say, I probably should apologise to Simon. I'm sure you pronounce his surname Welfringer or something like that,
Yeah.
but my French is below par, to say the least.
And we've spent a lot of time in German
and he's
speaking.
off. Left hand just uncurled there as he reached up high with the right to make that big move for the hanging box. Great effort from Simon Welfringer. We'll go with the French pronunciation to finish.
Sounds good to me.
And of course we can join another French athlete now. This is Cora Jarry, also known as Coco. Very, very strong climber. Has been on the circuit all season. Only missed one round, which is the Durango round. In fact, no French climbers were there.
Yeah, but she's been a pretty consistent competitor the rest of the season, and great to have her, and I'm sure she's happy to be in World Championships here in France.
Well, she, of course, made the semi-finals in Beijing. She made the semi-finals in Cheongsong. Also made the semi-finals in Sazfei. Like you say, she's been very, very consistent this year and very impressive as well. So, Korajari reaches up to make that clip with the right hand. Very small holds here. Route setters are Attilio and Massimo, two Italian route setters who were in Rabenstein last week. And also a gentleman in Radek, who is a Czech route setter, an aspirant international route setter. So very interesting to see how the styles compare from last week. Ian, you were climbing last week in Rabenstein and you climbed this morning. What did you think of the difference in styles? Was there a difference?
Both routes were seemed to handle a bit about time. We saw last week in Rabenstein that in most of the rounds that climbers had to climb pretty quickly. And we saw this morning that climbers were timing out lower than you might expect. So I think time is quite similar, but otherwise the routes are a bit different, I'd say.
Well, let's see how Cora does this next move as she reaches up high off that right hand. Makes the move no problem and starts to shift left towards the ice. You can see those blue circles. Those are essentially pre-drilled placements that the climbers can use without having to swing their ice axes into the ice. Now, they are permitted to do that. There's no problem with swinging into the ice, but being able to hook gives you a lot more security, and that's... Oh no, Cora's off as well! Very powerful move there. Speaking to Cora yesterday, and I know she'll be disappointed to fall so low, but applauds the French crowd nevertheless and thanks them for their support. Difficult to see exactly what happened there, Ian. Let's check out the replay. She reaches up with that left hand, foot pop. The feet pop, and then she just doesn't quite have enough to take all of her weight on that left hand, shock loaded, and that's her out of there. Unlucky for Korajari. And next out in the ladies competition we'll have Nadia Galyamova of Russia, and in the men's competition we'll have Marko Malinovsky of Switzerland. And there is Marko.
Yeah, we haven't had a lot of Swiss competitors this season, apart from, of course, in Switzerland.
Well, we had a good contingent in Sazfei, and then a fairly good contingent also in Rabenstein.
Yeah, so it's good to see that although they may not have been able to make it to the North American or Asian World Cups, that they're representing and climbing very well here in Europe.
Indeed, and of course one Swiss climber to mention is that young lady Petra Klingler. Of course, Petra very badly injured her knee in Sazfei. It was a horrible moment in the competition, in the whole season, but then continued to climb against all odds, and to the shock and awe of everybody in the room, managed to climb into a bronze medal position. It was absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, I don't know what's more impressive, watching her climb in Sazfei after injuring her knee, or the fact that we're going to be watching her later on tonight.
And that's where I was leading towards. We, of course, have Petra Klingler with us this evening. She'll be climbing. She qualified 8th. And not only that, she's world bouldering champion as well. So she's here at the Ice Climbing World Championships and is also world bouldering champion. Unbelievable. Marko Malinovsky moving upwards through that lower section of ply. Reaches up with the right hand to that very tricky position, and that's one of those stone mounted holds on the metal plate. Makes his clip and reaches that bulge with just over 5 minutes 30 on the clock. moves up with the left hand to a very powerful position, and we've seen, of course, both Simon Valfranger and Alexander Werren looking very powerful and very delicate in those positions. So let's see how he does this next move. Of course, Alexander Werren of Switzerland opted to go figure 4, which is when the right hand in this instance goes over the right leg goes over the left hand. He's gone direct as well, the same effort as Simon Valfranger. Climbs over that bulge in the delicate position to the right hand. How does that bulge going to feel in terms of the way it feels around the body, Ian?
Well, usually you want to get your body as close into the wall as possible, and the bulge just makes that impossible to do. It just is exactly in the way of where you want your hips to be.
Pushes your center of gravity backwards.
Exactly, and we saw the hold close up there a minute ago, and it's just the route setters do it on purpose to give it a bit of a challenge for the climbers.
Reaches up with the right hand to make that clip below the volume as he approaches the steeper section of the route. Up with the right hand, and again you see a really powerful position as he has to take the weight through his right hand into his shoulder, into his pectoral muscles, really strong in the core to then bring that left hand across and match. And let's see how he does this. Oh, and his right hand pops, but he manages to hold that. How hard is it to hold a position like that, Ian?
Well, we saw earlier, and this move right here that he's doing right now, it requires a lot of strength and a lot of control. So he's climbing very well, and I have to say that he's looking very strong tonight.
Takes a second to compose himself before moving up again into that very powerful undercut position. You see the back of the axe, or the top of the axe, what we call the head, isn't touching the back of the wall. It's a very powerful position to be in. We call that an undercut, and he reaches over with the right hand, cuts loose completely, and drops the left leg over the right hand into a figure 4. Just swings there. He's going to try and compose himself to make the next clip. It's going to be a big high clip for him. Reaches up instead with the right hand. Very confident climbing here from Marko Malinovsky. Makes the clip. And this is where we see him moving into the steep head wall section of the route. The pump is really going to be kicking in now into those forearms. He's going to be feeling it, feeling the burn. Puts the left leg over the right hand into the figure 4. Reaches up, very powerful move. Misses it first time. 2 minutes and 30 on the clock. Relaxes in the figure 9. Left leg over left hand. Switches back, and he's off. A lot of fatigue showing there, Ian.
Yeah, but a lot of close calls and a lot of good catches on his part, keeping it in control, keeping his head steady, and just moving pretty high up the wall compared to the other climbers we've seen today.
Great work from the Swiss climber, and that was the moment that he felt. In the ladies competition, we have Nadia Galyamova climbing right now. There she is. Nadia has had a very good season. She started off in Durango with a 4th place finish, then went on to Beijing with a 15th place finish, making semi-finals. Then to Cheongsong, where she finished 12th, and on to Saas-Fee, where she finished 5th, and Rabenstein, where she finished 9th. Those results giving her an 8th position overall in the rankings, and tied with Ekaterina Vlasova, her Russian teammate.
Yeah, both Ekaterina and Nadezhda here have been climbing very well this season.
And we'll be seeing Ekaterina later. She actually qualified 2nd earlier today.
Yeah, she was one of the few women that managed to top out the routes that we saw earlier. And we're watching Nadia now, and both of these climbers, when they're climbing well, are very, very strong competitors and great climbers to watch.
Well, she's just less than 3 minutes on the box, as she needs to move upwards and outwards along that structure. And of course, we saw Korojari fall just below this, and Daria Menina fall almost in this exact same spot. She puts that left leg over the left arm for a figure 9. She's going to try and make that next move before making the clip. See her placing that left tool. Very small hold there. A lot of power and a lot of precision required. reaches up for the clip. Really good work here from Nadia Galyamova, showing her experience.
Oh, and moving very smoothly into that figure 9.
Very smooth indeed. And back to the figure 4, and you see her making another clip, reaches up, and you can see the top. Very close there, Ian.
Yeah, it'll be exciting to see if who makes the first top tonight.
Well, she has 1 minute and 47 seconds on the clock, so plenty of time to get there. Into that fig 4, she's moving effortlessly between those positions.
Yeah, it's incredible watching wind climbers like Nadia here just really climb very smoothly. It makes it look a lot easier than it actually is.
Into that Stein pull, and you see the Stein, the difference being the head of the axe is pressed against the wall. Very powerful, and a very hard move to finish here. She places her right tool into the bolt. Looks like she's timed out. So that's time for Nadia Galyamova. The clock on the screen, I believe, was the clock for Marko Malinovsky. So that was the difference in time there. But a great effort nonetheless. Just timing out before the finish. Great work from her. And in the men's competition, of course, we'll have Mohammad Reza Safdarian. There he is, the Iranian climber. He climbed so well in speed last week in Rabenstein. One of only 3 climbers, Ian, to qualify with a sub 10-second time.
Well, it's just incredible watching these Iranians, because it's not a country that you would expect to have great ice climbers from, and yet we have several competitors who are not only good climbers in lead but also in speed, and we see right here that it just is moving effortlessly up this wall here.
And he's very quick to that bulge. So to give you some idea of time, Marko Malinovsky reached that bulge with 5:30 on the clock. Mohammad Reza Safdarian got there with 6:30 on the clock, a whole 2 minutes faster. Sorry, good maths. A whole minute faster than the Swiss climber. So Mohammad Reza Safdarian moving very quickly at this point.
And he chooses to go into the figure 4 as well.
Over with the fig 4, but looks totally solid in it. Of course, Dreza is a slightly shorter competitor by comparison. Reaches up to that right hand. Needs to be careful with that right foot near the boundary tape. He's not as close as it looks, but of course if these climbers go outside of the boundary, then they are disqualified.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this structure is a lot narrower than other structures that we've climbed on, so he has to be very careful where he chooses to put his feet.
And on the screen that you saw very briefly there was Marianne van der Steen. She'll be climbing in the women's semi-final very shortly of the Netherlands, of course, Marianne. She joined me in Saas-Fee for some commentary, did a brilliant job. Mohammad Reza Safdarian reaches over that left hand with the right. Very powerful, but very comfortable. Makes the clip.
Lots of time on the clock at this point.
Takes that powerful... Oh no, his right hand pops. Manages to hold it. Great composure there from Mohammad Reza Safdarian. Shakes that left hand out.
And he's not the first competitor that we've seen pop off that hold. Looks like he's just trying to find the sweet spot here, with a little bit more tension in his body.
Hard to make out just how bad that hold is. You can see that he's really struggling to place the tip of the pick. Moves that left leg higher to transfer his center of gravity below the axe. There you go. Much better second time round for Mohammad Reza Safdarian. Reaches up left hand into the roof to clip. High clip from him. Good work. And then he rolls that axe upside down into that powerful undercut position. Safdarian this year seems to have performed much better in speed than he has lead. Of course, last year he made a couple of finals in the lead, whereas this year he hasn't done. This is his first. Of course, this is the World Championships, which is a separate event to the World Cups. But in the season as a whole, this is his first final. Reaches over with the right leg, flicks it over, no problem, into the figure 9.
And they're back into the figure 4, and see him reach up. There we go, into that next hold.
Really, really good work from Mohammad Reza Safdarian. Takes that tool in his mouth to make the next clip as he approaches the head wall. And of course, this is around the point that we saw Marko Malinovsky fall. So it'll be interesting to see how Mohamed Reza Safdarian does. 3 minutes and 6 seconds on the clock for him.
And he reaches in that next hold without a problem.
Moving very, very well. Mohamed Reza Safdarian has found some really good momentum. 6-5 what?
6 for women, 6 minutes for women, 5 for men.
Not 7:30?
No. Well, so just apologise, our information was wrong. We were given wrong information.
Mohamed Reza Safdarian moves up with that right hand, and he's absolutely flying at this point with 6 seconds to go on the clock. Rolls over, and is he going to see a top? His time's up.
He just matches there. Was it? Did he do it in time?
I don't think it'll have been in time.
Oh.
So, just to give you some new information, Ian, I've just been informed that I was given wrong information earlier by the judges. The climbers do not have 7 minutes 30 to climb these routes. Fortunately, it seems that there was some slight misinformation. The ladies, I believe, have 6 minutes, and the guys have 5 minutes. So ladies have 6 minutes to climb their routes, guys have 5. That timer will be changed on the screen very shortly, but we'll do our best to give you that information. That's why those climbers were timing out, and we're very sorry about that misinformation. These things do happen. We can blame the president of the jury, the judges, for that. He owes me a beer. There's Marianne van der Steen. Climbed very, very well in Saas-Fee. Made the finals in the lead competition. Didn't quite climb how she wanted to in the finals. Made a small mistake. But she's looking to make the finals again today and redress the balance. Make the point. She knows that she is definitely worthy of a finals position. Those leggings are worthy of a final position, Ian.
Yeah, she's always climbing in very interesting leggings, trying to look good for the photos.
Well, definitely spicing up the leg wear. Nothing wrong with that. Marianne van der Steen, very strong in the right shoulder there, locking that deep into the Stein with the left hand. Takes the rope in the mouth to make that next clip. She has 2 minutes left on the clock. Reaches up with the right hand. Needs to pick up that pace now if she wants to be in with a chance of making the finals later. Of course, only 8 men and 8 ladies will go through till tomorrow's final. Finals begin at 3:30 local time. The broadcast will begin at 3:15. So make sure you tune in live on Twitter, Facebook and YouTube on the UIAA, Empora and Olympic channels. If you are joining us on the Olympic channel and you're wondering what all of this jargon is that Ian and I are using, then we have actually got a Jargon Buster video on the UIAA YouTube account. If you go to YouTube, type UIAA, and then I think literally it's called Jargon Buster, then you'll be able to tune into the video, and you'll see myself and Noah Bake talking about some of the key skills. Marianne van der Steen reaching the box in the roof now with about 1 minute and 15 seconds to go. 1 minute left for Marianne van der Steen as she moves around this box, and of course she has to climb under the box, through the steepest horizontal section, onto that head wall.
Yeah, Marianne is a very strong climber, good competitor, and she's unfortunately only participated in Saas-Fee, and now, well, luckily she's here in France for the World Championships, and with a quite large Dutch group this year.
Huge amount of Dutch climbers. It's absolutely wonderful to see so many Dutch here. Marianne and her partner and climbing partner Dennis have done a brilliant job fostering support from the NKBV and of course all of the Dutch climbers. 7 Dutch athletes here this weekend. 10 seconds on the clock for Marianne van der Steen, painfully close to that final hold. She's got lots more moves to go. She'll make that clip in time. Can she make that next one in time? No, she's timed out. Brilliant work from Marianne van der Steen. And now in the men's competition we have Yann Jerome, second French competitor of the evening. Yann's been a very, very firm member of the team over the course of this season. He's been on all of the competitions apart from Durango. Yes, there we go.
Making a big reach there. The French have very good lock-off strength.
Very good indeed. Now, Ian, this is a hard question to ask you, but maybe you can answer. How much of a home advantage have these guys got?
Well, I mean, obviously they're very comfortable climbing on the structure. They know kind of the peculiarities about how it is to kick into this plywood and some of the different angles that the route setters can work with. That being said, of course, they haven't gotten any more information about these routes than any of the other competitors.
Well, Jan Jerome reaching that box with 3:16 on the clock and just taking his time between his next move has got 2 minutes and 46 seconds left. Seems to be moving quite well, Ian.
Yeah, he seems to be climbing very confidently. It'll be interesting to see what he does around this. What have we been calling it?
The bulge.
Obtrusion, yeah, bulge.
You can call it an obtrusion. Lovely word. Reaches up with the right hand, hits the hold first time. Very precise work from the 39-year-old Frenchman.
Yeah, it seems people have been struggling there, and it looks like he's just moved very confidently.
Big reach required with that left hand into that undercut move. Taking it almost like a backhand at this point. Right hand pops, but no trouble for Jan Jerome. Reaches over with the right hand. 2 minutes and 2 seconds on the clock. Shakes out for a second with that left hand, just trying to keep off that pump. Of course, the pump being the feeling in the arms when you literally feels like your forearms are going to explode.
And there we actually saw a very good view of how poor this hold really is. We've seen several competitors kind of skating and popping off of here, and Jan Jerome just got it first try there.
Big move up with the left hand to another undercut backhand. Pulling hard on that left hand. Really got to crank hard to make sure that the weight stays through that hold. The contact pressure stays so that it doesn't pop. Big reach out with the right hand. Almost an iron cross position, this, Ian.
Yeah. And actually seeing him move into that figure
9 into a
figure 9 into figure 4. It's hard to tell from that position, but yeah. Moving into it very well.
And just takes his time. Makes the move with the right hand, clips with the left. You can hear the crowd in the background shouting, Allez Jan. A lot of French support here. Of course, we are in France. The locals out in force.
Yeah, I mean, we have a lot of the locals here supporting climbers, but a lot of the French team make a lot of noise, and they're very supportive of their teammates.
That is definitely true. Throws the left leg into the fig 4, sorry. Reaches over with the left hand. Needs to kick in high. He's got 10 seconds. Needs to make this next clip. Just losing his composure a little bit. Reaches up with the left hand. Is he going to make the clip in time? We'll have to wait and see if the judges call it. It was in time on our clock. Let's see if it's in time for them. And that is, of course, Jan Jerome's time up. Although I don't think he's heard the judges.
It's always a good idea to just keep climbing until they tell you to stop. Well, as you mentioned earlier, sometimes our clocks have been wrong. Whether that's the case right now or not.
Right. He's definitely right. He's just being allowed to. I mean, you can see he's not actually been able to do the move because the rope's tight.
Yeah, I was just going to say whether that's the case right now or not. I don't necessarily know, but it's always good for the competitors just to keep climbing until they make it impossible for you to keep going.
Great work and big smiles from Jan Jerome of France. And in the ladies' competition right now, our first Russian athlete, sorry, second Russian athlete. We had Nadia Galimova, didn't we? There's Elena
Daria
Kosheveva,
Manina.
third Russian athlete. Wow, how could you be so wrong in 30 seconds? So Elena Kochubeva with a very interesting helmet there. Can't decide whether that's futuristic or retro.
Possibly a little bit of both.
Been seeing a lot of customization in helmets this year. Lexi Dengin with the Superman symbols. Alexei Marshalov with his Stormtrooper Lots of customization in the helmet department. Ian, do you customize yours?
I don't. I should.
Well, you do compete for Norway. Maybe you should get some Viking horns.
I don't know if that would help that much.
I'm not
Just
bothered about
stab
it helping.
myself
I think
even
it
more.
would look fantastic. I might have to arrange for that to happen. Meanwhile, Elena Kochubeva, with 3 minutes on the clock, climbs up and just checks the hold with her left hand there. If you are, get in touch. If you do want to get in touch, rather, it's very easy to do. Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Use the hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing. And hey, Ian, why don't we put it out to Twitter? Do you think Ian should get horns added to his helmet as a customization? If you do, use the hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing and put yes horns on Twitter. Just yes horns. And if you don't, you can say no horns. Yes horns or no horns if you think Ian should get customization. Ian, if more yeses come in than no's, will you do it?
I'll see what I can do.
Live on air, ladies and gentlemen. Ian Hansen's going to get Viking horns if you say yes horns. Elena Kochubeva moves up to that crescent hold on the entreprise volume with 2 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. Approaching that box as she takes the first hold in the ice. Steps across with that left foot, taking care not to cross the boundary tape.
Yeah, that tape sometimes creates a lot of awkward positions that the climbers have to go into. Again, they're not allowed to step underneath that red line.
She's much quicker there than than Marianne van der Steen was. Marianne reached that box with 1:15 on the clock. She's reached that with 1:54 on the clock. So that's going to help her out a little bit higher up. We'll have to see if she can transform that added time into higher moves. But she is stalling out a little bit now.
Moves into that figure 4.
Right leg over the left hand in that very delicate position. Tiny, tiny hold there. Just over a minute on the clock there for Elena Kochubeva. Makes that high clip. The first of the head wall.
Locks into that next hold. Looks very small, but she manages to hang on there.
And you see the wall above her. Just a few more moves to go. 39 seconds on the clock, but she pops out of that right hand, powering out. And that is it for Elena Kochubeva. Now, at this moment in time, that puts her into a qualifying position for the finals. I fully anticipate that to change, Ian.
Yeah, we still have a lot of very strong competitors to climb here.
And of course, you can keep up with the live results. Very easy to do. If you go to the UIAA website, you can go to results.theuiaa.org and you'll be able to see live results as they happen on your screens. Now, there is Luna Ladovon. Luna, the younger of the two Ladovon brothers. He qualified one place behind his older brother, Tristan, who turned 19 just a few days ago. They call themselves Le Frère Ladovon, or Ladovon which means lad of adventure.
Yeah.
I love that.
I'm glad that you said that instead of me.
I love that they have their own brand.
Yeah, I love the camaraderie that they have here, and they're both climbing very well this season.
Very strong climbers, very good teammates, and very loyal brothers. The younger of the two, 16-year-old Luna Ladovon, moves upwards towards that bulge. Now, I'm looking at the official timer, and there isn't one on the screen. I'm hoping that the judges have got a stopwatch going. We'll bring you that information as we have it. Now, look at that. Luna's using his hands on the volume as opposed to his tools, Ian. Can you explain why one might choose to do that?
Well, if you're strong, as apparently he is, you are allowed to use the holds with your hands. You do not get points for those holds unless you touch them with your tool, as we see him doing with his left hand here. That can help you stabilize, and it can help you get maybe a little bit of extra height.
Now, looking at Facebook, lots of people are tuning in on the UIAA Facebook page. Decky McSwiggan, who I know is the cousin of Ema McSwiggan, says, "Good luck, Ema, from your crazy Canadian cousin who's watching you in Drumlee, County Tyrone, Ireland." Ema, of course, qualified in 6th place, so she'll be out 12th later today. Jeff Devitt says, best of luck, Ema, watching from Malaysia. Lots of Ema McSwiggan support. Peruvian Trek Guides say, amazing climbing, watching from Peru. Big hello to the Peruvian viewers. Terry Clogeter says, morning from Seattle. Lucas Bart says, amazing.
And we see Luna right here, just very good effort.
Looking really, really comfortable in a very uncomfortable position. Now, Ian, I have to say, Harry Holmes has messaged us here. He says, get horns, Ian Hansen. So that's one vote there for Ian Hansen's horns. We'll check out Twitter shortly and see if we can find some information about whether or not people say yes horns or no horns for Ian Hansen's helmet. Luna Ladivor reaches up high with that right hand. I've just had it confirmed to me that whilst we don't have an official time on the actual clock for Luna Ladivor, the judges do have 2 stopwatches timing him, so no big panic there. We'll just have to go blind on this one. Reaches up with the left hand into the underside of that volume.
Big reach there. You can see just how far away that hold really is. So he swings over into the figure 9.
Reaches over into that box. Just getting his foot caught in the rope there. Sounds like someone brought an air horn, Ian.
Let's hope so.
Luna Ladivor reaches it with the left hand, makes the clip. And moves upwards with the right hand to the underside of that entreprise volume. Left leg over the right hand into the fig 4. Using his left hand just to give him some extra rotation to come round onto that head wall square on. Big move here with the left hand. Hits it first time after generating momentum with that foot.
And there we can see just how close he is to the edge of that structure.
Very close indeed to the edge of the ply.
But he seems to be keeping a cool head. There's good pace going here. Reaches over with his right hand. Couple of powerful moves here right before the end.
Very powerful there on that left hand undercut. And it sounds like his time's up. That's a great effort from Luna Ladivor, and he waves to the crowd behind him. And now we move to Cora Vogel, who is a Swiss athlete. We saw her in Saas-Fee and in the Rabenstein. She's got 3 minutes and 15 seconds left on the clock. Rox Cool has tweeted us using the hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing. They've said, really looking forward to this comp with a beer in hand and a foot in the air because they broke it 3 weeks ago. Hannah Ray is his favourite athlete.
Well, Hannah Ray is a very good athlete to have as a favourite athlete.
Is indeed, and breaking your foot is not ideal. And another gentleman's tweeted us, I don't know if you know, Brian Hansen, Ian. Park City, Utah. Hello, Brian. Brian, of course, being Ian's dad. We met him in Durango. Lovely man. Hello, Brian. So, Cora Vogel moves up into that powerful Stein. Making progress up the ply structure.
Makes the clip there.
Looks like she's looking behind her for the clock, just to check how much time she's got. Do you find that having the timer available to be able to see is useful, Ian, or are you the type of person that gets straight into the zone? Look at that hold as well.
Very small.
Very precise move to make that one. Reaches it with the left hand. Go on, answer the question about the clock for me.
Yeah, well, person who's been coaching me tells me to, pay attention and, climb a bit faster, just keep going, but I'm not very good at listening to his advice. So, but I know a lot of competitors do take a second to just check how much time they have. It's good to know if you should just go all out and use whatever energy you have left, or if you should try to just keep climbing consistently and then use the last minute or so to really step up the pace.
Well, Cora Vogel reaches the box with 1:15 on the clock, pretty much in line with Marianne van der Steen, who reached it with almost the same amount of time. Of course, Elena Kochubeva was way ahead with 1:54 on the clock. So Cora Vogel just drops there, powering out with that left hand. The steepness of that roof just kicks in so quickly. Is that purely fatigue, do we think there, Ian?
Yeah, it looked like that's what it was. And you can see she's breathing pretty hard there. But a very good effort on her part.
Great effort indeed, and she'll be followed by another Swiss competitor, Sina Goetz. Over in the men's competition, we'll see Tristan Ladavant, older brother of Luna, who we just saw in the men's. And there's a look at the upper wall. Let's take a look at the results so far. 6th place in the men's is Alexander Veron of Switzerland. 5th place, Simon Welfranger. 4th place, Marko Malinovsky. 3rd place is Jan Jerome. 2nd place, Luna Ladavant. 1st place, Mohamed Azasaf Dariam. Expect that to change with 13 more athletes in the men's. Over in the ladies' competition, in 5th place is Cora Jarry. 4th place, Daria Menina of Russia. 3rd place, Marianne van der Steen of the Netherlands. 2nd place, Elena Kochubeva of Russia. And 1st place, Nadia Galyamova, also of Russia. Again, 12 more ladies to climb in the women's semi-final event. Tristan Ladavant, older brother of Luna, begins his route. Another Ladavant tour begins. Just struggling to release his left foot there. It's great to see so much young talent coming through, especially from European.
Yeah, it's great seeing that a lot of new youth groups are being developed, and those youth groups are producing a lot of very strong athletes that have been competing in not only the youth competitions, but now we're seeing World Cup as well and World Championships.
Now, interestingly, Tristan's opted to use that hold with his right hand, just as his brother did. Would they have talked about that in the route reading process?
Probably.
For nobody to do it, and then for two brothers to do it, one after the other.
I would be very surprised if they hadn't talked about it.
Well, Tristan Ladavant reached that box with 3:22 on the clock. About 6 seconds faster than teammate Jan Jerome. Needs to move quickly through this next section. Big, hard move. Look at that hold. Absolutely terrible. Big reach required to hook that with the right hand. Just struggling with that lock there off the left. 2 minutes and 25 seconds for Tristan Ladavant. Shakes out. Just trying to alleviate that pump a little bit. Big swing required. There it is. Hits it this time. Great work there. That dynamic approach looking much better for Tristan Ladavant. Uses the left hand just to steady himself on that hold. And then places that left backhand. In the high grip on his tool there. Another powerful move as he reaches round that tool to a better position and reaches with the right. Needs to really pick up the pace now, Tristan Ladavant, if he wants to be in with a chance of making the finals tomorrow afternoon. Another fast clip there.
We see how he takes this hold here. His brother took it right away. And it looks like he does as well.
Reaches up with that right hand into the undercut position. 1 minute and 16 seconds on the clock for Tristan Ladavant.
Gets his feet up high to make this big stretch out right there.
Reaches over with the right hand. He's going to cut loose with the feet and throw that leg over. Let's see if he goes left leg or right leg. Goes right leg into the fig 9. Uses the left leg to stabilize himself for the swing. He's got 44 seconds left. He really needs to move quickly now if he wants to get onto that head wall. Might have to confiscate that horn, Ian. 28 seconds for Tristan Ledavon as he reaches high with the left hand to make the clip. He's climbing really confidently.
Yeah, I was just about to say he doesn't have a lot of time on the clock left, but he's still making good progress up the wall here. He needs to kick it in a high gear now. Just reach for those last few holds. Come on.
If he can hit that hold, he might. No, he's not going to make the clip
There
in time,
go.
but he does hit the hold. So that will count for Tristan Ledavant, but he hasn't made the clip. Great work there from Tristan Ledavant. I don't think that'll be enough to see him through to semi-finals, but a great effort nonetheless. Big smiles, and he'll actually be competing in the Youth World Championships here next week.
Yeah, we were talking earlier that there are a lot of very strong youth competitors, and a lot of these names that we see coming up, kind of stealing these first places, are still competitors in the youth competition.
For sure, and actually Ian, you're Ian, aren't you, Ian?
I am Ian.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Tristan and his brother Luna both missed the competition in Rabenstein last week to rest, so that they had a week of rest before this week and next week. Very tactical.
Yeah, and again, they have that little bit of home field advantage, and especially with the home crowd cheering them on.
And someone who's from not too far away, Sina Goetz, young Swiss climber. Sina and her brother Lucas, both very talented youth climbers from Switzerland. 17 years old and extremely talented.
Yeah, she seems to be making good progress up this first bit of wall here. See what her time is when she moves over to the ice.
2 minutes and 11 seconds on the clock as she reaches up to make the clip with the right hand. Moves over towards the ice.
Just under 2 minutes reaching into the ice there.
Sina Goetz reaches the box with 1 minute and 33 seconds on the clock. Great work from her. Now needs to keep that composure and pick up the pace to advance up the head wall. Difficult move, this one. It's foiled a lot of athletes. Locks that left hand down, cuts loose there on the left hand, matches in onto the tool and manages to pick her feet up. This is very hard work for her. Come on, Zina.
Oh, nice.
Presses those feet onto the volume just to give her some stability. Oh, and she just drops off there. Great effort from her. Really good recovery.
Very impressive to see her recover from that. Looks like she just didn't have enough energy to keep going, though.
You can see her shaking her head in frustration, but she climbed incredibly well there, and actually to have the strength and ability to throw those feet on. It didn't quite work exactly how she would have liked, but she did recover there. Great work from the 17-year-old Swiss climber. So, on your screen, Mr. Alexei Dengin of Russia joins us. Alexei Dengin's a pretty special kind of guy.
Oh, I love watching him climb, and it was incredible watching him climbing in Durango.
Was indeed, of course. That's where Alexei took his first ever gold medal, and the first gold medal of the 2017 season. Climbed incredibly well. The only man to top the route. A perfect set, you could say, from the route setters.
Definitely deserved.
Definitely deserved. I've never seen so many people happy for one person to take a gold medal. He was rushed.
Yeah.
Wasn't he? Kicks in high with that left foot into the EP volume. Volumes, of course, being the boxes that are attached to the wall that aren't part of the structure. And what those volumes do is create different angles and shapes. Gives the route setters the ability to make moves more technical or more challenging. And it also gives the climbers something else to think about, where they can kick into or where they might be able to use a hold differently. Dan O'Toole has tuned in. Now, Dan, a very good afternoon, evening to you. It's great to have you on board. He says, that wall, wow. So he's obviously very appreciative of this structure. It's quite impressive, Dan. Hope Glossop is treating you well. Kicks in hard with the left foot. Alexi Dengin moves over with the left hand. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with us here on social media, it's very easy to do. On Twitter, use the hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing. You can do what Dan did, which was tag me using @Liam Lonsdale. On Facebook and YouTube, you can just drop a comment in the live chat. It's very, very easy to do. And we'll do our best to respond to your questions and shout-outs as and when we have the connection to do so, and also the time. Alexi Dengin reaching that fig 4 over the left hand.
And just nails that with his right hand on his first try.
So strong to the box there. He had 3:30 on the clock where he got to the bulge, so slightly ahead of everybody else that's got there so far. He's moving really quickly, pops the left hand, manages to recover. Just looking for the best position to readjust that tool, get his height over the right foot and get the weight over the right foot. There you go. You see the left foot coming up onto the top of the bulge. Left hand into that undercut. Powerful move in the high grip there, but no worries for Mr. Dengin. And of course, there's one of the Superman customizations that we were talking about before, Ian. Next year, I would like you to be in the semi-finals, and I'll say, and there Ian Hansen with the horns on his helmet, which we agreed to put on in Champagny at the World Championships last year. Just
Sounds like a deal.
Great.
Yeah.
I'm very psyched about this. Alexi Dengin reaches over with that right hand. We've seen a lot of competitors having trouble placing that right hand. Dengin places it second time and looks solid. High grip on the right hand as he reaches up high to make the clip with the left. And if you're wondering what we're talking about when we're talking about high grip and low grip, it's the height of the tool. So at the moment, he's in the bottom of his tool despite it being inverted. Right hand over and flicks that left leg into the fig 4 instead of the fig 9 that we've seen everybody else do. Now he's in the fig 9 over the left hand. No waiting. That's the difference there. Alexi Dengin does not stop to shake. Everybody else has stopped to take a second. Dengin cruises on through as he plows up the head wall. Places the left tool in the bottom of the entreprise volume. Fig 9 with the left leg. Spinning round onto that leg as he tries to release his tool. Matches into the tool with the right hand. Another fig 4 over the right hand. Very precise. Executing there from Alexi Dengin. Matches in. Another big move to go. 45 seconds on the clock, and he wants that finals position.
Makes that clip and reaches over. Now we have a couple of very big moves.
Reaches to the right side of the volume first to come into the undercut with the left. Another big lock with the right hand. You can see he's ever so close to the top now. Hits it second time round. Brilliant work from Alexi Dengin. One more move to hit that last hold. We saw Mohamed Reza Safdarian getting to this point. Oh no, and Dengin pops off.
That was unexpected.
He definitely had time to top that, but that pop of the tools could prove costly on the penultimate hold for Alexi Dengin. Let's just watch that again. So he had the right hand placed, left hand, and this, he was going across. Watch, poof, it was the foot pop. Did you see that?
Yeah.
The left foot popped first, the tools followed. What a shame for Alexi Dengin. Well, we'll just have to wait and see whether he qualifies, won't we, Ian?
Yeah.
And of course, you will at home too. Don't forget, if you want to see the live results, go to results.theuiaa.org. On the screen now, Amira Kuensley of Switzerland. Lots of Swiss athletes through. It's the third in the row. Third of 4 in the women's.
Yeah, and we have, another no-name Petra Klinger coming up not too long.
But before that, Amira Kunsley, 16 years old.
Yeah, and look at that. Very strong.
16.
Big lock with the left hand to make the clip with the right.
Doesn't seem to have any trouble with this right hold. Switches hands a little bit. She seems to be climbing quite smoothly through this upper section of this wall and just has to transition over to the ice now.
Makes that first placement of the left tool into the ice. Needs to take care with her feet.
Looks like she's going to readjust and go higher up into the ice. Give a little bit of space for her feet.
Just trying to find that foot placement and reaches the box with 1:20 on the clock. In the mix of where we've seen the other athletes so far, but definitely needs to pick up some pace.
Yeah, not the fastest time, but we have seen people struggling here in the next few moves. So if she can keep it together, then, yeah, well, let's just see what she does.
51 seconds on the clock as she throws that left leg over the right hand. Just taking her time to place that left tool, a very delicate position, but throws those legs over very quickly. Really aggressive style here from Amira Kunsley. Moves up with the left hand to the base of the head wall. Cuts loose on the right hand, doesn't have quite the strength to hold it. Great work there from the 16-year-old and a brilliant effort, falling off with just less than 30 seconds to go. Not bad at all, Ian.
Oh, very good.
Next up in the ladies, we'll have Mariam Filipova, but in the men's, we have Young Hye Kwon. Young Hye Kwon, 40 years old. He competed in Durango, came 11th, and also competed in Sazfei, where he tied for 8th place. 3 competitors actually tied for 8th place at that competition.
Ooh, seems to be just about to say that he was moving quite confidently before he popped off, but doesn't seem to phase him too much. Checks out the hold with his hand and is now moving up. There we go.
Young Hye Kwon also placed 10th in Cheongsong and 8th in Rabenstein as well. Very consistent competitor this year.
Reaches across his left hand and locks into there. Now he's approaching the box here with the bulge.
Reaches that box with about 3 minutes and 40 seconds, so good time from him so far. Using his left hand to really steady himself on that hold. Reaches up with the left again. Kicks in hard as he starts to climb upwards through that bulge. What did you call it? Obtrusion. Love that.
And there we see that this is not a very great hold, and then just placing it right at the edge of the bulge there just makes it very difficult for these competitors.
Tiny, tiny edge. Moving a little bit slower than some of the other competitors we've seen in this position. He was slightly ahead of the other competitors when he reached the bottom of this bulge, but he's moved through it a little bit slower. Anyway, he reaches that right hand second time, kicks in high with the right foot onto the upper side of that ramp feature now, which gives him the ability to get the feet high and stand up into that undercut. You see the axe placed into the hold. Reaches over into the lock with the right. Another high clip from Young Hye Kwon. Big lock with the right hand.
Doesn't seem to struggle with that at all.
Big lock with the left. Again to that undercut position. 1 minute and 48 seconds on the clock. Makes the clip and now reaches over with the right hand. Very powerful position. Cuts loose with the feet and throws the right leg over into the fig 9. Cuts loose and swings on that right hand. Full commitment there from Young Hye Kwon. Another deep lock off the left hand to take the right hand hold.
Uses his heel there on the hold.
You can hear some of his Korean teammates shouting Haja Haja in the background. It's Korean for come on, come on. Another big reach off the right hand, this time in the high grip on his right tool to throw that fig 4 with the left leg. Just struggling to free his right tool, but there it is. Holding the swing. .48 seconds on the clock for Young Hye Kwon. Hits the hold with the left. Pops off first time. Hits it again. Doesn't look solid second time, but he's committing to it anyway. Stands high with the left foot, and you can really see he's having some trouble now. Young Hye Kwon, with 30 seconds on the clock, needs to find some composure. Hits it with the left. Makes that clip. Another big move to go. 20 seconds.
Chooses to go right into that undercling there. We've seen a lot of other climbers go into the right there and then go into the left. Oh, come on. A couple of seconds on the clock. Just has to make this big reach. Come on.
And he doesn't quite hit it. Oh, no. And that's time up for Young Hye Kwon. Great effort from him. Finishes his attempt, swinging up for that right hand. Ian, I've just been informed that so far across the 3 Facebook channels alone, that's Empora, the Olympic channel, and the UIAA's channel, we've got 40,000 viewers so far. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the World Championships of the UIAA ice climbing competition. It's great to have so many of you on board, getting involved with the sport on this fantastic occasion.
It's great to hear that there are a lot of people interested in watching this awesome sport.
It is indeed, and if you are one of the 40,000 that doesn't know about this sport and you'd like to learn more, there's lots of video resources on the UIAA's YouTube page. Videos with myself and other athletes. Light humour involved, and you can find out all about the sport on there. Now, Mariam Filipova, very strong Russian climber, moves up with the right hand and takes the ice. Moving very quickly indeed.
It looks like she's just a little bit ahead of that time that we've seen a lot of other competitors.
She's had a good season this year, Ian. 35 years old. She placed 5th in Durango, 11th in Cheongsong. Took a bronze, in fact, in Cheongsong, with 3rd. She came 11th in Beijing and then 16th in Sasfei. Look at how well she's moving. Almost 2 minutes on the clock as she reaches that box.
Well, she chooses to keep her feet on the ice there before moving into this black hold.
That's going to give her a little bit of extra energy for these difficult moves as she moves into the horizontal.
There she finds that left hold and commits to it with the figure 9, putting her left leg over her left arm.
Reaches up high with that right hand. And you see on the helmet there, another customized helmet. It says Kirov. That's one of the Russian competition venues. They have Russian championships there and also have held World Cups there in the past. Haven't had one there for a couple of years. Makes the clip with the right hand. There it is. 1 minute and 1 second on the clock for Mariam Filipova. So far, Nadia Galyamova is the leading semi-finalist. She was the one to climb the highest. Let's see how Galyamova fares with less than 45 seconds on the clock.
Filipova is who we're watching
That's
right now.
exactly who I meant.
Yeah.
Well spotted, Ian. All I'm doing, just keep it. Make sure you're on your toes. Just making sure.
Just making sure I'm paying attention.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Reaches up with the left hand into the stein.
And she has just under 30 seconds on the clock.
She's got to move very quickly if she wants to take that next hold and clip the chains. What do you reckon, Ian? Is she going to do it?
I think she will. Come on.
Hits the hold with the right. Reaches up, kicks in hard. Marianne Filipova clips. There it is, and needs to match with the tools.
There's the
5
match.
seconds on the clock. Marianne Filipova. 5 seconds on the clock with a top. Not bad at all. Ian, I believe it's your time to go.
All right. Well, thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much for joining me. It's been a pleasure to have you here, and hope you enjoyed the rest of the competition this evening. That was Ian Hansen, of course, American climber representing Norway at the World Cup and the World Championships this year. And on your screen right now is Dmitry Grebennikov, of course. If you have followed the UIAA on YouTube, Twitter and Facebook, you'll have seen a very short interview that I did with Mr. Grebennikov earlier today. If you want to find out what Dmitry thinks about the competition so far, how he feels about the competition, how he felt about the venue, then you can find that video on Facebook. It's live now, so why not check it out? He's a lovely young man from Russia. In fact, I believe he's from the Siberian part of Russia. 26 years old. And whilst Dmitry starts at this early part of the route, I'm delighted to now welcome to the commentary booth is Kendra Stritch.
Good evening.
Hello, Kendra. How are you?
I'm well. How about yourself?
Yes, I'm really good, thank you. For those of us that haven't been with us through the World Cups, Kendra is one of the athletes on the tour. Very talented lead and speed climber. Kendra competed this morning in both lead and speed. Very briefly, talk us through how that was.
Well, lead, I definitely didn't have my mind in the game where I need to be to get up the ice fast enough, which is kind of funny coming from a speed athlete, huh? But yeah, I just took my time ice climbing this morning and timed out. But speed went well.
Made semi-finals tomorrow?
Yes.
Excellent. Well, we'll look forward to seeing you in those.
Absolutely. Make sure to tune in tomorrow morning.
And so Dmitry Grebennikov now, who reached the box with 3 minutes and 24 seconds on the clock, he is going to move very quickly in this powerful position. And we know that Dmitry prefers technical routes. One of the tallest competitors on the tour. He's also one of the heaviest, weight obviously being a crucial part of climbing. Because it's a fight against gravity. He's just under 90 kilos of Russian climber. He's a big dude, but he's very talented and, like I said, loves the technical style. Dmitry Grebennikov trying to get his weight over that right foot on top of the bulge feature. Just got his left foot stuck, but manages to pull it out. Places that undercut. Have you seen much of the semi-final so far, Kendra?
I have been watching from outside, cheering on all the competitors.
Excellent. What's been your highlight so far?
Well, definitely watching Nadezhda.
Nadia Galimova climbed really well.
She did. She hiked to the top. She actually told me that this was too easy. She wanted to see bigger moves on this for semi-finals here at the World Championships.
Interesting. Dmitry Grebennikov, not the first person to pop off that move there. His right tool just coming off as he tried to steady himself and commit to it. Watch again, right hand, very, very delicate move.
He's either not getting that hold in the right spot or not getting to the right far enough to get it to stick. That
there
was
you
the
go.
case.
So the weight dropping down under that right hand, moving. Oh, and his right hand pops again, and he manages to stay composed. Very close there because he'd almost released that left tool. Dmitry Grebennikov struggling with this move. Needs to get all of his weight underneath the right hand. Hits it more precisely this time. There, look at his shoulders. Moves the center of gravity below the right hand, enables him to release the left. And another big move required, takes the right tool in the high grip, places that backhand, pulls hard into that undercut position, makes the clip in the roof, and then reaches over to the hanging box.
He's quickly running out of time here.
Cuts loose and throws that right leg over into the Fig 9. Back into the Fig 4. Grebennikov with only 10 seconds left on the clock now. Makes his clip. Needs to pick up that pace.
Releases that lower hold.
And that's going to be time for Dmitry Grebennikov as he hits the hold on the EP volume. He'll be a little bit disappointed with that. Maybe not. Looks very happy with that. This is, of course, despite Dmitry's vast Russian competition experience, this is only his first ever international season. Now, let's have a look on screen. Petra Klingler. Kendra, what can you tell me about Petra?
Well, Petra is a Swiss athlete. She also competes in the bouldering and sport climbing World Cups. Very talented.
Doesn't just compete, she's the world champion in bouldering.
Sorry.
No, I'm sure she'll forgive you for that.
She also, 2 weeks ago in the Saas-Fee, Switzerland competition, hurt her knee, or hurt an old injury of her knee. And so she took last week off. She did not join us in Italy.
She's had a lot of rehab, a lot of MRI scans, tests, checks.
She
Physios
has.
and coaches have all been looking very closely to see whether or not she can compete this week.
But she's certainly getting up this route. She's already in the roof here.
And she reaches that box with 2 minutes on the clock, which is on a par with Marianne Filipova, who did top the route. Cuts loose with the feet and throws that right leg over the left hand into the figure 4. Petra Klingler, of course, has won a gold medal in Kirov in 2015. Last year, she took a silver medal, I believe, in Saas-Fee.
She's now moving on to that upper EP volume.
Right leg over the right hand in the Fig 9. 1 minute and 18 seconds on the clock as she's going to make that clip with the left hand. And now, just struggling with that clip. Big Stein now from Petra. Needs to place that left hand. You see her just tentatively using the left leg. Still not 100%. She limped into registration yesterday. But reaches up to that finishing hold with 54 seconds on the clock. Reaches up to make the clip. All that time counting, of course. If there's ties, then it's speed that counts. And with 46 seconds on the clock, Petra Klingler absolutely smashes to the top of that route. I think she's laid a claim on a finals position there. Kendra, what do you think?
Yeah, I think that should be enough.
She seems to be in a little bit of pain. Maybe a slight grimace. Also a smile. It's hard to tell with Petra because she always smiles.
Well, we saw a huge fight through the pain in Saas-Fee 2 weeks ago, so
it's great to see the emotion from the athletes, and you see her pulling that left leg out. Must be painful there. But
she did tell me this morning that she was supposed to wear a brace.
Yeah, she told me that she'd be climbing in a brace, but I haven't actually seen that brace yet.
No, she might have it on under her pants, though, also.
She might. Let's hope that she does. I'm sure her physio will be watching somewhere, cursing the screen if she doesn't. Hyung-Sub Lim on the screen now. Now, Hyung-Sub Lim is, I believe, and feel free online at home to correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he's the youngest competitor on the Korean team. He's only 18 years old, but has rocketed through the rankings. He placed 12th in Cheongsong. Did a really, really good job there. And he reaches the base of that bulge with 3 minutes and 37 seconds on the clock. That's very quick. That's on a par with the likes of Young-Hye Kwon and Alexei Dengin. Big lock with that left hand. Tiny, tiny edge. Makes the move with the right hand. Sounds like the air horn might be running out. Hits that left hand under the volume into that small hold. Now, we've seen the other athletes opt to place their feet higher on the bulge before they place the left hand, giving them the undercut advantage, but he seems to place that no problem nevertheless. Quite a tall competitor, Hyung-Sub Lim. .232 on the clock as he reaches over, and he's done that very differently. All the other competitors have gone left hand low and reached over with the right, whereas he went right low and reached across himself with the left.
We saw him hold a lot of core tension to be able to make that move that way.
And he just made that next move look easy after we saw Dmitry Grebennikov really struggle there. He's just cruised through those two moves. Looking really, really strong, Hyung-Sub Lim. 2 minutes on the clock. Oof, that was an interesting one. Got his feet stuck behind the rope as he kicked his feet above his head. Long arms and legs. Kicks that left leg into the right hand for a fig four. There it. Oh, he's just struggling to place that left hand. Places it third time. 1 minute 34 seconds on the clock now. What do you think, Kendra? Is it possible for him to get to the top with that much time?
I think it's possible, but he's got to hit these holds first time.
Let's see if he can really pick up that pace and accelerate through these next moves. You can see that he's getting very aggressive with those different positions. Fighting through 4s and 9s to make each move as quick as he possibly can. Hits the left hand.
He's just got to move on this, though.
Oh no! Oh, that is not ideal.
Wow, that
Falls
was surprising.
off there. Inverted. Hyung-Sub Lim, that happened so fast. So he had the left foot high, went to clip. Let's watch that back. To the left and the right foot high, goes to clip. Watch the feet. Right foot pops. Doesn't make the clip. Left foot pops. Tangles around the rope. Inside, upside. Crikey. I'm sure he'll be all right. Now, smile on his face. Big smile on his face, indeed. Great work from Hyung-Sub Lim, and I don't think that'll be enough to see him qualify, but it will be enough to put a smile on the young man's face. Great work from the 18-year-old Korean. Next up in the ladies, we'll have Marion Thomas of France. And maybe we won't have Marion Thomas. There is Maria Tolokonina. Try and find out what's happened there with Marion Thomas. It's possible that there is a change in the start list.
So Maria's just moving from the ice up to the first hold on the plywood.
And of course, Maria Tolokonina, very, very well-established athlete. Just been informed that actually Marion Thomas fell very low on the route whilst Hyung-Sub Lim was climbing. That's a shame for her at her home comp. She was definitely one of the athletes that was promising and could have looked for a finals position, but as we know, these things can happen, Kendra.
Yeah, surprising falls. We just saw a very dramatic one from the young Korean. I'm sure he's excited to see his other teammates climb here, as he has a lot of strong teammates to look up to.
He definitely does, with the likes of Hyung Park and Hana Rai-sung, both with 3 straight gold medals in the World Cup. Maria Tolokonina, speaking of gold medals, has got lots to her name. She took the overall titles in the lead competition in 2009, 2013, 2014 and 2016. She took a gold medal this season in Beijing. She took overall gold medal last year and 3 of the 4 gold medals at the competition. How's she going to be feeling coming into this competition in the World Championships, do you think?
She's climbing well, and coming into this, I think she knows, based on last week's route setting and the same route setters this week, that she's likely to need to climb this quickly and get to the top to secure a spot in finals.
Well, that certainly looked to be the way it's been going so far. Let's see how Maria Tolokanina tackles this one. Of course, she took silver medal last week in Rabenstein. She knows that she's got what it takes to make those finals. She was sat making a lot of notes about the structure in general earlier today. John Park's climbing. I know we don't have a cut between the two, but he is overall World Cup winner. Maria Tolokanina matching on that hold with the right hand, reaches up high with the left. Big move with the right hand up to that black volume. At the same time as Maria Tolokanina, we've actually got Hyung Park climbing, Kendra, which is a tricky one. Oh, and we see Tolokanina just catching herself on that Stein. Looking at Hyung Park climbing, of course, there he is. That's the overall World Cup winner. 3 straight gold medals in a row. Cheongsong, Sazfei and Rabenstein. He's on the form of his life, Kendra.
He is. He's on a roll and could be the champion tonight.
And he's reached that bulge very, very quickly. In fact, with over 3 minutes 30 on the clock. Looking very strong indeed. Places the Fig 4, opting for the security of that to make the move with the right hand.
You can see him very carefully coming out of that figure 4 around that bulge. It can be awkward.
Places the left tool, not quite sure first time. Looking for it with his finger for the best position. Can we go back to Tolokanina? Just looking for that best placement. Taking a little bit of time there. Going back to Tolokanina now. Maria Tolokanina of Russia entering the steepest part of the structure. This is the horizontal section, and she has just under 2 minutes remaining. 4 minutes and 8 seconds elapsed for her. The ladies have 6 minutes to climb their route.
You can see that she's high on the route, just reaching the last 4 or 5 holds here.
She should have enough time to get there. She just needs to keep it together. Climb confidently and precisely. Reaches up off that figure 4 over the left hand to that hold on the entreprise volume with the right. And this is the move that she needs to take. The Stein with the left. There it is. Big lock off the Stein. Reaches over first time with the right hand. Maria Tolokanina is going to top this route with over a minute to spare. There it is. Awesome work from Maria Tolokanina. Brilliant climbing from what we expect will be a very strong finalist tomorrow. Let's have a quick look at the Facebook feed, Kendra. Lots of people have got in touch on Facebook. Kays Baker said, "Go Noah, go, crush." I'm guessing that's a relative of young Noah Bake. Nelly Raybergen says, "Smithers cheering you on, Noah." Austin Butler says, #Team Blueberry. Liana Elizabeth, that's my little sister, is watching from Bolton. Hello, Liana. William Reichert says, watching from the USA. Love watching these guys. And Marion Indabitson says, "Go for it, Petra." Lots of people getting in touch. Lucas Bart says, "Amazing." You too can get in touch on Twitter. Use the #UIAA Ice Climbing. Or why not get in touch on Facebook or YouTube? Drop us the comments in the live chat. Hyung Park with 45 seconds on the clock moves over the right hand to the left. And Hyung Park in great shape. Cuts loose but looks very confident and composed. Reaches up with the left hand to clip the chains. And matches with 34 seconds on the clock for the fastest top of the route yet. In fact, the first top. Loved the little smile to the camera as well there. Paying attention, Hyung Park.
He does. He likes the media and he likes to make a statement.
He's a crowd pleaser, isn't he?
He is.
Great work from the overall World Cup winner for 2017. Adds that to his tally of, I believe, 2 previous world titles in 2011 and 2013. Watch this. Cheeky. Oh, Hyung.
That's great.
He's a good lad. very, very popular competitor on the circuit with the athletes and with the spectators alike.
So we just saw 2 world-class top athletes here top those routes, but we still have 6 women.
Yes. And 8 men.
A lot more climbing, a lot of great athletes.
Wow. Now, that looks to me like the tools of Emma McSwiggan in the rock there.
It is.
Emma McSwiggan being our only Irish competitor at this competition. Let's take a quick look at the results before Emma climbs. 12th place is Veron Alexander of Switzerland. 11th place is Simon Velfranger. I think that's how you pronounce his name. In 10th place is Marko Malinovsky. 9th place, Dmitry Grebenikov. 8th place is Tristan Ladavant. 7th place, Young-Sub Lim. 6th place, Jan Jerome of France. 5th place, Luna Ladavant. 4th place, Young Hye Kwon. 3rd place, Alexei Dengin. 2nd place, Mohamed Reza Safdarian. And 1st place, we just saw him top, is Hyung Park. Now, we have, as we said, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8 more men to climb. That's going to be very interesting to see how those guys do with that route. Looking at the ladies, we have Marion Thomas of France in 12th. Coralie Jury in 11th. Cora Vogel in 10th. Daria Menina in 9th. In 8th place, and currently in a qualified position, is Zina Gertz of Switzerland. 7th place is Marianne van der Steen of the Netherlands. Amira Koensley of Switzerland in 6th. Elena Kochubeva of Russia in 5th. Nadia Galyamova, also of Russia, in 4th. Petra Klingler, who topped the route, is in 3rd. Marianne Filipova, also with a top, in 2nd. And our first place qualifier, we just saw her climb, Maria Tolokonina, also of Russia. Kendra, so far so good.
Yeah, they're putting on a great show. We've seen some dramatic falls, lots of great climbing. Now we have Emer from Ireland starting up the women's route.
Emer's had an amazing season. Last year she did make a couple of finals, but they weren't the best finals, shall we say. You know, she was happy to be there, but she didn't perform as well as maybe she thought she could have done. 38-year-old Emma McSwiggan this year, first of all, took a bronze medal in Durango in the first competition of the season, and then at what you could call her home comp in Cheongsong, she lives in South Korea, took a silver medal. How impressive was that?
Very. She's just climbing so well this year. Precision, endurance, her training for the last 5 years have really paid off.
And you say training for the last 5 years, she's only been ice climbing for 6.
Yeah.
You know, it's absolutely incredible. I said to her on the stage of Cheongsong, we did a post-climb interview, and I said, Emma, 6 years ago you hadn't even picked up ice tools, and now you stood with a silver medal in your hands. When did you think that would happen? And she still couldn't believe it even stood there, that she had done so well. What difference would you say it makes, the fact that she was training in South Korea?
All the difference in the world. She had a team. That's how she got introduced into the sport. They're really great doing that. They get everybody that they can involved over there, bring them into the dry tooling family, the competition family there.
Very open.
And they have great coaches, a lot of resources. They have structures in Seoul and other places that they can train on. And so it makes a big difference for the athletes and the training, but also the support and the knowledge that is shared.
Definitely paid off for Emma. She's climbing so well this season. And interesting to see some of the traits that we attribute to her climbing, which do translate to some of the other Korean climbers as well. She has a real Korean style in her movement.
Yes.
3 minutes and 1 second on the clock for Emma McSwiggan, and she places that stein with the left hand. Takes a second to breathe out. Big deep breath from her.
Now, Emer is known for not climbing very quickly.
Yes, she is a slow climber. Doesn't seem to be moving too slowly though.
Not too slowly, but she's a few. I think Maria was in the roof at this point.
Yes, she was. Maria Tolokonina actually got up to the roof, I think, with almost 3 minutes on the clock. She flew up there. Emma McSwiggan moving a little bit slower. Let's see with what time she reaches that box. You can see it on the top left of the screen there. Into the ice. It's going to be a big deep lock for that left hand. There it is. Hits the left hand position. Puts the left leg over into the fig 9 and hits the box with 2 minutes and 8 seconds on the clock. So that's ahead of where Petra Klingler was. She just needs to move with the same speed now, maybe a little bit faster through this upper section towards the top. The thing with this route, despite there being quite a lot of wall to go in meterage, there's not that many moves. They have the big move off the right hand and then the big lock. There's people tuned in from London. Carolyn McConville, I very apologised. Terrible English. I'm very sorry if I got your name wrong. It looks Gaelic to me. She says, "Come on, Ema, live here from with you girls cheering in London." That's great to see so many people supporting Ema. Lots of people on social media getting behind Ema McSwiggan. Tom Cara has tuned in. Tom is relatively new to the sport, but got into it very quickly. He, in fact, was at the competition in Sazfe. If you're new to the sport too, then why not check out the Jargon Buster video that we made on YouTube, and why not get in touch and let us know what you think about what's going on here. Let us know what you think about the athletes, what you think about the structures. Very interested to hear from people that are new to the sport, especially considering broadcasting live on the Olympic channel. Ema McSwiggan reaches up off the stein with the right hand, kicks up high into the fig four, opting for some interesting moves. Come on, Ema. Doesn't need to put that fig four in, just needs to kick into the ply. Scuppering herself a little bit, makes the clip, matches the top hold with 27 seconds to go. Great work from Ema McSwiggan. She made that hard for herself there.
She did. I think so. The figure four is something that she's very comfortable in. She trains those. And I think that's what that top, she was excited about getting to the top. Probably had a little bit of nerves there. I've just got to clip and match. And her body just instinctually went into that figure four.
You see that, and it actually caused her a little problem trying to get that rope across, but she managed to do it and then made the top. So, great work, even though it was slightly unnecessary. Maybe cost her a few seconds. And just to talk people through, if you are new to the sport, the rules, to top the route or to get a successful ascent of the route from bottom to top, you have to clip the final clip, or what we call quick draw. To clip that quick draw, and then with both tools, the left and the right tool, match the top hold. That means place the tools on the hold at the same time. So once the clip is clipped and the tools are on the hold at the same time, then a top is counted. That's pretty accurate, Kendra.
Yes, and interesting fact on that your second tool doesn't have to be like on the good spot, or you don't have to be weighting it at all. You just have to have both tools touching that hold at the same time.
And of course, we had the classic incident of last year in Bozeman. I don't know if you remember. Tom Ballard, his first ever competition, absolutely cruised his qualifying route. Flew up there with 2 minutes, clipped the anchor, had never competed before, didn't quite understand the rules, placed his right hand tool, matched his left hand onto the right hand tool with his left tool over the shoulder, and then jumped off. No top. Didn't qualify.
Heartbreaking.
Absolute heartbreaker. But competitions can be cruel, and it pays to know the rules. Back to today's action. Next out we will have Hannah Rae Song of Korea, and of course Chang Hyun Lee, also of Korea. Now Hannah Rae, another interesting competitor, 3 straight gold medals in a row and overall World Cup winner. What's setting the Koreans apart this season, Kendra?
Certainly that team support, team knowledge, but Hannah Rae has just put the time in and trained hard, and has just performed very well mentally this season. You know, her teammate Woon Sun Shin is in top form, but hasn't performed as well in the competitions, but she did today. She's qualified first, and so we'll be seeing her a bit later.
Well, there is Radomir Proshenko. Radomir Proshenko, young Russian climber. Very talented, both lead and speed proficient. He's made several speed finals and several lead finals, and in fact, he took gold medal in speed in Beijing this year.
That was very exciting.
Moving nice and quickly up these first moves. Radomir Prushenko matches in on that right tool, swaps hands and reaches high with the right hand.
You can see that hold there. It is actual rock with the backing on it that's on the wall there. So even though it's painted so that the athletes can't exactly tell what they are, we can look at the shapes.
Radomir Prushenko moves up with that right hand off the bulge. 3 minutes and 27 seconds on the clock. Reached that bulge with 3:40, which is very quick, on the par with Young Hye Kwon. Faster than Tristan Ladevon, faster than Dmitry Grebennikov, faster than Kyung Sub Lim. Very quick indeed from the young Russian. Only 20 years old. Let's take a quick look at Hannah Ray Song and see where she's getting up to. Hannah Ray, of course, as we mentioned, the overall World Cup winner this year with 3 gold medals in Cheongsong, Saas-Fei and Rabenstein. Big reach for that right hand, kicks in high with the right foot. Matches in. Just checking the hold with the right hand as she moves up with the left. Kendra, why is it that athletes use the hands or check holds with the hands?
Well, because you get some feedback from your tool, but it's not as tactile, obviously, as our hands. So they will hold the tool very still there and just feel with their hand to see if the pick is in that good spot.
Radomir Prushenko moving into that steepest section of the route with 2 minutes and 6 seconds on the clock. Places that right hand and throws the right leg over into the fig 9. Very stable there as he cuts loose. Very little swing at all, which is going to pay off as he gets higher. Saving energy like that can be very valuable for the harder moves higher up. Kicks in to the underside of that hanging box with 1:41 on the clock.
Let us know what you think of the climbing here tonight. You can get in touch with us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. You can use the hashtag UIAA ice climbing.
Kendra, you were doing so well. I was like, well, Kendra's bumping in on my turf again, doing the old social media tagging. But then you messed up the end, so it's fine. I'm safe yet. I've not lost my job just yet.
Good.
Radomir Prushenko with 1 minute on the clock moves up with the right hand into the backhand. Now, interesting that he's going that way and not round the right hand side first. There it is. Much better second time round for Radomir Prushenko.
I just like to be social, Liam. So that's why I like to get the hashtag out there.
That's good. 20-year-old Russian reaches up with the right hand and hits that hold. And, of course, Alexei Dengin popped off there. 38 seconds left. He needs to move quickly if he wants to get to the top. Reaches up with the left hand. 26 seconds to go. Makes the clip. Matches in. And that's a top with 23 seconds on the clock for Radomir Prushenko. Let's go straight to Hannah Ray Song, who is at the base of the head wall. She is moving really well. Just under 1.5 minutes left on the clock for her. 4:32 have elapsed. Lots of time for her as she makes the clip with the right hand, needs to place the left hand into the Stein. There it is. Big Stein from Hannah Ray Song. Up to the top with the right hand. Very confident. Very smooth. Makes the clip and tops. Kendra, with 1 minute and 3 seconds on the clock, Hannah Rai is in great shape. What makes her such a dominant athlete?
Experience, team support, and just bringing it game day. You know, she walks out and she reads these routes and does what she needs to do to climb them well.
She seems to have a very good level of mental control.
I agree.
Now, there's that top again. Excellent composure. Climber that's used to seeing the top of routes. Next up, we're going to have Canadian athlete Noah Bake. lots of support on social media from Noah Bake, 20-year-old Canadian. And actually, his mother and his aunt are here.
They are.
Team Canada on the fan club. Hannah Ray goes and finds a warm jacket and will rest. Ready for tomorrow's final. It's looking pretty certain that she will qualify.
The temperatures are nice out here tonight, especially for the climbers. They're cool enough that they are not overheating while they're working hard up on the wall, and you see them walking away, not even putting their jackets on right away because they're still warm from that fight that they've put on up there. Even though they make this look easy, they definitely are working hard.
Noah Bake finished 9th overall this season. Here's some of that support, Kendra, on Facebook. Let's see who we've got. Tammy Yakimovic says, "Go Noah Bake, cheering for you from the Kootenays." BC Canada. Austin Butler says, "Come on Noah." Lots of people getting in touch. I'm sure Noah's family that aren't here will be tuning at home. Kendra, before Noah gets started, the weather's been pretty challenging this week. Not only have we had just today rain, snow, sleet, sun, wind, pretty much everything, but there's been a massive fluctuation in temperatures. How's that affected things for the route setters?
Well, certainly the route setters got very nervous about that, I hear, the last couple of days because it was quite warm. And they were worried about the ice not maintaining for the weekend. And but it cooled off today. We actually had snow this morning. And the ice has been good. So all of the concern was for naught. Hopefully, tomorrow is looking to be about the same temperatures.
So hopefully we'll still have ice in the morning. Noah Bake moving very, very quickly. Makes that double clip. Deep lock off the left to make that right hand. Moving quickly so far, Kendra.
Yeah, it does look like that is a focus of his here, is moving quickly, which is good.
And of course, Noah made the finals in both Durango and Beijing, back-to-back finals. He finished 7th in Durango in the United States, and then 4th in Beijing, China. The following 3 comps, he made semi-finals in all of them, 18th in Chongsong, 12th in Saas Fei, and 14th in Rabenstein, but didn't quite find that same form. He's going to be looking to settle that score, I think, tonight.
Absolutely. He's been learning all season about these holds, about the movements, about when to be fast, when to be precise, and I'm sure that he's combining that, and hopefully he can apply it tonight.
Moving really well through these initial moves in the bulge, just looking for the best part of that little pocket. And of course, as I said before, the athletes that have had their feet higher have found that move easier. There you go, really cruising that left hand lock. Over with the right hand, matches in onto that tool with the left to make the clip. Makes the higher clip again. Great work from Noah Bake. Shows his experience making that double clip. And a powerful move over the right hand. Look at that. So strong, Kendra.
Yeah, he's had no problem with that hold there.
Left hand into the backhand. Pulls hard on that as he leans away from it. Reaches out to make the clip behind him. And then to the box. 2 minutes and 37 seconds. He's moving very well.
Yeah, he certainly had planned that move. You could see that in the way that he just took the tool. He had it in the position that he wanted it and just went.
And another athlete that hasn't stopped to shake. Reaches up with the right hand. Makes the clip with the left, and another big move required. Come on, Noah. Hits the hold. Oh, he's just not found it. There it is. Better third time. 2 minutes and 5 seconds on the clock for Noah Bake. That's plenty of time. He just needs to move precisely. Keep that pace going. Doesn't hit it first time. Seems to be tiring a little bit. Come on, Noah. I'm sure all of the fans at home are cheering on Noah Bake. 1:42 on the clock. Really needs to get going now. You can see him tiring. Misses it with the left hand. Come on, Noah. Keep it together. Looks behind him for the clock. Shakes with the right hand.
I think he may have been looking for the crowd. Want some cheering there.
Just struggling with that left hand, and the right hand cuts loose and he's down. waves, and there's that signature smile from Noah Bake. It's not going to be a finals here for him as he falls at the base of the head wall, but a great effort nonetheless. Brilliant style and brilliant potential, Kendra.
Absolutely. This is his second season competing. He has a lot more success in the future, I believe.
I would agree, and we'll probably see some of the success next week at the Youth World Championships. But sticking with this week's competition and today's semi-final, Angelika Reiner with 3:33 elapsed, so just under 2.5 minutes remaining, hits that box feature. Reaches up with the left hand, matches in with the right, and takes that tiny, tiny hold on the EP volume with the left. Angelika didn't quite have the competition she was hoping for last week. What was a home comp pretty much in Rabenstein. Ended up finishing 6th overall.
Right. She qualified first coming out of semifinals. Was looking
so
good.
Well.
And got high on the finals route, but just had a little trouble with the hold, slowed her down, and wasn't able to make it to the podium.
Well, she's looking really, really good. Hits the right hand hold for the top. Look at this. I mean, she's totally in control. 1 minute and 16 seconds on the clock for Angelika Reiner as she tops. Totally casual. It looked routine for her.
Yeah, this she's really happy there.
Showing that emotion. And of course, we've seen a lot of emotion from Angelika over this season. She's had a real up and down season. Started off with a silver medal. Brilliant work from her. But then 2 comps where she made finals place 7th and 6th. And then 2nd again in Saas-Fee. And then 6th in Rabenstein. Just hasn't quite found the flow that she was hoping for.
Yeah, so she looked great on that. I'm sure that she's feeling good about that. It'll give her confidence going in tomorrow's finals.
Of course, she finished 2nd overall for the season, which is a great result for her. And a smile on her face shows that she is feeling that confidence. She's feeling that flow again. And last week's result hasn't affected her too much. Now, here's another very strong athlete, Janes Zvolšák. Another athlete who hasn't quite had the season, certainly that I was expecting. I'm quite happy to put that out there. I was expecting bigger things from Janes this year. He climbed so well last year, taking a gold medal in Rabenstein at the last event of the season. But this year it's just not quite come together for him, Kendra.
Nope, he's had a few surprising falls down low.
Made the finals at every single comp bar Rabenstein, which was ironic considering that was the one comp that he won last year. Finished 7th overall for the season. His results were in Durango 8th, Beijing 5th, Cheongsong 6th, Saas-Fee 5th, Rabenstein 9th. We know that he's strong enough to make those finals, and we know that he's strong enough to win. Do you think maybe there's a little bit of head game involved there?
Absolutely, especially off that win last year. Coming in, there's the expectations, probably more from himself than anybody externally, but we always feel that there's those...
I've just said it very openly. I was expecting to see a lot of him this season in those podiums, and it hasn't happened. So, if even subconsciously people are thinking that, then it's going to be putting the pressure on him.
Yep. He's still a very young athlete.
He is indeed. In fact, Janes is only 23 years old. Reaches up with that right hand, hits that left hold into that tiny pocket, and needs to build those feet up. As we said, athletes that have got the feet on that volume have been holding that hold much better. Using that very strong left shoulder to reach over with the right hand. Janes is one of the many competitors that trains on his own structure at his house. I believe it's inside his house. His structure. It's in a room. Am I right?
I'm not sure.
I think it is. I think it's in like a cellar. It's quite small. but he just pulls these incredibly hard moves.
Very talented athlete.
2 minutes and 30 seconds on the clock for Janusz Volchak as he moves up with that left hand into the underside of the EP volume. Reaches up to make the clip.
Gonna have to keep moving quickly here.
Another big swing over that Fig 4. 2 minutes 10 seconds on the clock for him. Makes the clip with the left hand. 2 minutes exactly on the clock for Janusz Volchak. Plenty of time to get up there. Just needs to keep that momentum. Needs to keep the pace. And also needs to keep the accuracy. Obviously we saw Noah Bake just losing that precision at this point. Fatigue setting in, but Janusz Volchak does not lose it. Hits that hold first time. Powers up over that left hand. Matches into the tool in the high grip. Look at that high right foot there. Very powerful position to make that clip.
Now that is right where we saw a foot blow earlier tonight out of that volume.
We did indeed, but no trouble for Janusz Volchak as he places that right tool, steps over the volume. 1 minute and 15 seconds on the clock for him.
Now did you notice earlier that He Young skipped that hold?
Completely.
Completely. Well, he actually moved to it and then moved back to the right hold and went straight up. Just like Janusz.
Just like we're about to see Janusz Volchak do. They're very different athletes. Oh no, looks like he's going for the undercut anyway. Powerful move for that right hand. Needs to keep the weight through the feet. We saw Alexei Dengin pop at this point earlier. Reaches over the left hand to the top. Needs to clip that clip and match that tool.
Nice.
And does so with 39 seconds on the clock. And that is great work from the 23-year-old Slovenian Janusz Volchak. 3 more climbers to come in the men's competition, Kendra. We've got Nikolai Kozlovlev out next. Then Valentin Sipovin and Yannick Glatard. Over in the ladies' competition, climbing right now and on your screen is Maria Edler. Masha, of course, another climber who's had a brilliant season, very consistent. A 26-year-old Russian athlete trains with Alexei Dengin in Moscow. Also rocks the Superman motif on her helmet.
And I quite enjoy the very bright pink shirt.
Always rocks the bright pink. She's made all but one final this year. She didn't make the final in South Fe, but did in Durango, placing 7th, Beijing 5th, Cheongsong 4th, and Rabenstein 8th. She gave her a top 6 finish in the overall ranking. 2 minutes and 3 seconds on the clock for her as she reaches the base of that head wall. Makes the clip. Big reach with that left hand. She's going to match in. And then she's going to... Oh, no, she's off! I was not expecting to see that, Kendra.
I'm not quite sure what happened there.
Absolutely shocking. Masha Edler holds her head. I think she's as surprised as we are. She looked totally solid, but then all of a sudden was just out of there. Let's see that back. Masha Edler left. Oh! I need to see that again. It just happened so fast. Let's see it again. Right hand's off. Watch the tool. It's a left hand just slips off the tool.
It appears that is what happens.
Oh.
As she releases, she puts all of her weight onto that tool. She releases the lower one. And
the Seth 100 computer did a great job of showing us those replays there. Top of the range system that we've got going. But she was so quick. Unbelievable off that hold. I don't think that'll be enough to see her through to semi-final. Through to semi-final. We're in semi-finals. Through to finals. We'll have to wait and see what the results look like. Once Nikolai Kozlovlev's climbed, we'll pull up those live results and see where it puts her. If you can't wait that long, then head to the website results.theuiaa.org and you can see live results on there, updated minute by minute by Mr. Alexander Pone. He is our Romanian results master and one of the UIA officials at this event. Nikolai Kozlovlev on the screen. Another athlete who's had a brilliant season, Kendra.
Absolutely, and moving quickly here. Just makes that double clip.
Unsurprising that he's moving quickly, because he's also a gold medal winner in the speed events.
Correct.
Very, very quick. And a lot of these Russian athletes are double threat. Can't call them triple threat because there's only 2 disciplines, but you know, they perform at the highest level in both disciplines. He actually took silver medal overall this season. He took a silver at the first round in Durango, then took gold in Beijing, dropped a little bit in Cheongsong with 11th, but then Sazfei in 4th, and finished Rabenstein with a bronze medal, taking 3rd. And like I say, silver overall for the 2017 World Cup season. He'll be looking to emulate that success, if not improve on it, here at the UIAA Ice Climbing World Championships, live from Champagny-En-Vanoise. Again, my French pronunciation, very, very on point. Or not. Do apologise to any French viewers or French-speaking viewers if my accent does not suffice. I'm trying. That's all I can say. I'm trying. Nikolai Kozlovlev moves upwards to that powerful hold on the right hand, reaches across, kicks in hard, and leans back, putting all the weight through the tip of that pick to then move up and left into that undercut. There it is. Oh, he's got those lovely new purple screws from Krukonogi. Other pick brands are available. Did you notice those, Kendra?
I did.
Very nice. They only just released those, I think.
Yes, very new.
Very nice.
Very stylish
Very
detailing.
shiny. I'd want red and black ones though. You know, they'd match me top then if I was Nikolai Kozlovlev. Or yellow to match my helmet. Colour coordination, of course, a key part of ice climbing. Nikolai Kozlovlev makes the clip with the left hand. Another big lock off the left with the right, and throws the fig 4 in with the left leg. Moved really smoothly through that. Lovely style.
Yeah, and as he moves onto this upper head wall, he has just over 2 minutes.
Plenty of time to go for Nikolai Kozlovlev. Just needs to keep it together and stay on the wall. Hits that left hand first time. You can see all the pock marks in the wall there, of course, marks from the front points of the crampons on the fruit boots.
Not all from this year.
Not all from this year. No, this isn't brand new ply. This is ply that's been used before. And look at this, Nikolai Kozlovlev absolutely cruising up with the right hand, over to the left, matches in to make the clip with the left. 1 minute and 13 seconds on the clock, and tops. Easily tops Nikolai Kozlovlev.
Another beautiful climb, and he did give a nod to the camera there.
They're all on it, aren't they? Very attentive. So that's interesting. Let's have a look at some live results, if we can, because that should make for interesting developments. That, of course, the top of the route there. So, 16th place is Alexander Veron of Switzerland. 14th place, Chang-Hyun Lee, joint with Simon Wolfranger. 13th place is Marko Malinovsky. 12th place, Dmitry Grebenikov. 11th place, Tristan Ladovon. 10th place, Noah Bake. 9th place, Yongsoo Lim. These are the finals qualifiers so far. Of course, we've still got 2 more athletes to go. Yann Jerome in the danger zone from France, as is Luna Ladovon. Both possible to be knocked out by Sipovin and Glattard. 6th place, Young Hae Kwon. Okay, looking at this, we also don't have Kozlovlev's result in there yet. So, Yann Jerome will be out. Luna Ladovon moves to 8th. Young Hae Kwon in 7th. Alexei Dengin 6th. Mohamed Reza Safdarian 5th. Prushenko, Park and Zvolchak, along with Kozlovlev, all with tops, will be our top 4. So Sipovin and Glattard still to climb. That's going to be interesting to see how they change things. And moving to the action, of course, 2nd place qualifier Ekaterina Vlasova. Again, another climber who's had a bit of an up and down season. Brilliant competitor, very talented. Just not been able to find that consistency. Any theories as to why, Kendra? I'm putting you on the spot, I know.
Well, often it's because they're training to a new level, they're pushing themselves to a new level, and before you can master that level, there's usually a time where you're inconsistent in that.
Almost like a bedding in period, you might say.
Mm-hmm.
Good answer, considering that I did totally just put you on the spot. Katerina Vlasova's season, she finished 8th overall in the overall competition, all the World Cups. 17th in Durango, 4th in Beijing, 17th in Cheongsong, 6th in Saas-Fee, and then 4th again in Rabenstein. You know,
on the
3
upswing.
finals out of 5. Can't be too disappointed with that.
Yep.
At the same time, last year, of course, Katerina Vlasova finished 2nd overall, took a silver in Bozeman and a bronze in Cheongsong. She wants to be at that standard. 1 minute and 1 second on the clock for Katerina Vlasova. She needs to make that clip with the right hand. Of course, we saw Masha Edler just crashing out of this move here. Crazy as she was in that Fig 4. Vlasova using those long legs and long arms, deceptively tall competitor, to reach up with the left hand into the Stein. 43 seconds to go for Vlasova. She needs to keep moving.
Fighting a bit of pump there.
Definitely fighting the pump, but reaches up with the right hand, reaches over with the left to make the clip, matches in with 28 seconds on the clock. Ladies and gentlemen, Katerina Vlasova books her ticket to the finals tomorrow. Great effort from her. Only one more lady to climb, and that will be Korea's Won Seon Shin, another competitor that's had a real up and down season. She started off with that incredible ascent gold medal in Durango. Then, silver medal in Beijing, form of her life. And then Cheongsong, home competition, everybody expected her to take the win. Out of nowhere, she finished 16th. Then, we went to Saas-Fee, 23rd. And then, of course, in Rabenstein last week, she picked it back up again and placed 3rd. On your screen now, Mr. Valentin Sipovin, very, very strong.
Very, very experienced competitor also. It really shows in his climbing often.
Reaching the bulge with 3:42 on the clock. One of the fastest times we've seen yet. Only Jana Zvolchak has got there quicker with 3:49. Of course, the clock being in reverse. Worth pointing out as well, Kendra, that Won Seon Shin, who will be climbing next in the ladies, is the reigning world champion.
She is. The World Championships, since they only happen every 2 years, are a little bit special. You get to have that title for 2 years before anybody can challenge you.
Yeah, I mean, it's a great title to have, especially with a biennial event like the World Champs. Valentin Sipovin finished 10th overall this year in the World Cup season. His best result was 4th in Durango. He also placed 5th in Cheongsong. Otherwise, it was 17th in both Beijing and Rabenstein and 28th in Saas-Fee. Year before, he finished 9th overall, so he dropped 1 place in that ranking. We see him moving now off that very powerful left-hand backhand, out to make the high clip with the right. He's going to reach across behind him to that box. There it is. Into that Fig 9 with the right leg. Over the left hand into the Fig 4. 1 minute and 42 seconds on the clock. A little bit slower now. Lost some time through that middle section of the route. Needs to really pick up his pace for the final moves. Definitely still got time. Just a case of making no mistakes for the rest of the route. Big 4 over the right hand to make that next reach. Tricky move. Hits it first time. Makes the clip with the left hand. Matches in with the left hand. Looks like he's going to go round the corner to the right first. There it is. 52 seconds on the clock. Just a couple more moves for Valentin Sipovin. Is he going to skip that move, Kendra?
Absolutely.
Looks like
Look
he
at that
is.
lock. We've seen this all up the whole route here from Valentin. That's a signature move for him.
So strong in the deep lock. His triceps must be absolutely massive. Valentin Sipovin reaches over with the left hand. Absolutely cruising. Clips the anchor and matches. Brilliant work. And a great top from Valentin Sipovin. Great work from Valentin Sipovin there. Another good top, and of course Yannick Lattard to climb next. Won Shin on the screen now, and of course Won Shin not only qualified today in first place, but is the reigning world champion. She finished 4th overall this season. Moving up with that right hand. And interesting actually, Kendra, you know, you were saying about Katarina Vlasova, who seemed to have trained to a new level and then needs to adapt to that level. I felt like that was the case for Shin this year. She was so strong and almost climbed too strong for the routes. It's hard to really describe it, but if you watch back those replays, she's cruising. She's never struggling when she falls.
Right. It's just moving a little too quickly on a hold, or...
And with a 3rd place finish in Grabenstein, maybe she's finally got a hang of it again. Maybe we're going to see her do something spectacular here in the World Champs.
I hope so.
Me too. Won Shin reaches up with the left hand onto that EP volume. Makes the clip.
I mean, you can see that she's looking up at the next hold as she's clipping. She doesn't even need to be looking at that clip.
Brilliant competitor, very experienced. Reaches the box with just less than 3 minutes on the clock. On a par with most of the athletes tonight that have topped. So she's moving much quicker than the likes of Petra Klingler, but at a similar pace to the likes of Angelika Reiner. Throws that left leg over the left hand into the Fig 9.
If I'm looking at our hand notes here on the tops, it looks like we have 6 tops for the women.
So all she needs to do is top.
Oh, all she needs to do is top.
Easy as that. Easy as that, Kendra.
She just needs to go up.
Yeah, just don't fall off and don't let go.
Yeah.
And don't time out.
Which she's making it look that easy right now.
Yeah. Well, crack on, Won Shin. 1 minute 48 to go. Reaches over to the right hand. Very calm. Very collected. Makes the clip. First time. Opts for the Fig 4, as we saw Masha Edler do, which did cause her to fall, but it's not troubling Won Shin as she kicks in hard below that Stein. 1 minute 25 on the clock. Reaches up high with the right hand. Makes the clip and matches in with 1 minute and 15 seconds. So Won Shin guarantees her place in the finals tomorrow. She's our last female competitor. And the women's finals will be live here from Champagny on YouTube on the UIAA Facebook, on the Empora Facebook page, and on the Olympic channel, and of course on Twitter as well. We'll be live from 3:15 Central European time, that's local time. So UK time, that would be 2:15 if you're tuning in from the UK. Won Shin did a great effort. Go on, Kendra, what were you going to say?
I was going to say one more competitor.
One more, and that's the man's competitor, Mr. Yannick Letard, and there he is, absolutely flying up there, already up near the roof. Yannick Letard has 2 minutes and 14 seconds elapsed, which means he's got 2 minutes and 40 seconds to go. Reaches up with the left hand. We've seen him adapt his style earlier today in qualifiers. Of course, in Rabenstein we saw Yannick's full Swiss Air commitment, where he was flying up that route, and one small mistake cost him everything. It really looked like that would be his time to take gold. And he looked a little bit slower today in qualifiers.
A little more conservative.
Hopefully we'll see some of that classic Jan Air style tomorrow in the finals. All he has to do is top. In the men's so far, we've had 5 tops. So a top from Yannick would guarantee him a place in the finals. Yannick wearing bib number 73, only 19 years old. Big move with the left hand, hits it second time.
Yannick is a bit shorter than a lot of the guys.
He's one of the shortest competitors on the circuit, but that doesn't stop him. He does have a big wingspan, or ape index. Reaches over with the right hand to the backside of that EP volume. Is he going to opt to go for the Stein there? Undercut rather, he is. Kicks high off the undercut. Reaches up high with the right hand. Hits that hold first time. And look how fast he's moving, Kendra. Absolutely rapid. Left hand over to the top. Matches in with the hand. Makes the clip. Look at the speed that he's doing this. Tops with 1 minute and 15 seconds. Absolutely phenomenal climbing from Yannick Letard, and we'll have to check, but I believe that's the fastest time. Nikolai Kozlovlev topped with 1:13. So assuming that our time on the clock was correct, he will qualify in first place. What do you reckon, Kendra?
That was so fast at the top there. He was just racing to beat everybody.
He's not even out of breath. Look at him. He just takes it all in his stride. Amazing athlete, amazing young competitor, and amazing potential for the future. We'll have the provisional results. Of course, we have to wait for the appeal period to be over very shortly. Let's just watch that finish again. Look at the speed. Reaches over the left hand. Watch how quick he matches and takes the rope. Look at the speed on that. Bang, bang, bang.
Speed
so
clipping.
Quick. And there it is. I think that was 1:15. I think that'll be faster than Nikolai Kozlovlev, which will put him into first place. Let's have a look at those provisional results in both the men's and the women's competition. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch with us here at the UIAA over the next 24 hours, you can do so using the hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing. There's the base of that wonderful structure here in Champagny, and here are the first set of provisional results. So, in the ladies category, last place with that very low fall, very sad to see Marianne Thomas in 18th, Cora Jarry also of France in 17th. 16th place, Cora Vogel of Switzerland. 15th place, Daria Menina of Russia. 14th place, Sina Gertz of Switzerland. 13th place, Marianne van der Steen of the Netherlands. 12th place, Amira Kuensley of Switzerland. 11th place, Lena Kocheviva of Russia. 10th place, Masha Edler of Russia. 9th place, Nadia Galimova of Russia. Lots of athletes missing out on finals that we would have expected to see there, Kendra.
Yep.
However, no surprises with the people that are in the finals. Massive names, massive talent. 8th place, and our first finals qualifier is Mariam Filipova. 7th place, Ima McSwiggan of Ireland. 6th place, Ekaterina Vlasova of Russia. 5th place, Petra Klinger of Switzerland. 4th place, Hannah Ray Song of Korea. 3rd place, Maria Tolokanina of Russia. 2nd place, Angelika Reiner of Italy. And in 1st place, with that brilliant fast ascent, Won Seon Shin of South Korea. Amazing work from the ladies, Kendra.
Yep, great to see Angie and Sunny back at the top there.
Indeed. So let's look at the men's. 19 qualifiers in the men for the semi-finals. Only 8 go through. Farron Alexander qualified in 19th. No finals for him. Chang Hyun Lee in 17th. Joined with Simon Walfranger. No finals for them, unfortunately. Let's look at the middle 8. Marko Malinovsky, 16th place from Switzerland. Dmitry Grebenikov, 15th place from Russia. Tristan Ladovon, 14th place from France. Noah Bake, 13th place of Canada. 12th place is Hyung-Sub Lim of Korea. 11th place Jean-Jerome of France. 10th place Luna Ladavant of France. And 9th place Hyung-Jae Kwon of Korea. Let's take a look at our finalists. So, first qualifier is Alexei Dengin by the skin of his teeth, but great to see him in there from Russia. 7th place, great effort and almost a top for Mohammad Reza Safdarian, just timing out. 6th place goes to Ukrainian Valentin Sipovin. 5th place, 20-year-old Russian Radomir Proshenko. 4th place is Hyung Park. 3rd place, brilliant work from the Slovenian Janez Volšák. 2nd place, Nikolai Kozovlev, and our 1st place qualifier and last climber for tomorrow's final will be Yannick Glotard of Switzerland. Quick summary of the men's, Kendra.
Strong climbing, quick clipping at the top.
Very exciting indeed. Well, that pretty much summarises the broadcast for the semi-finals here in Champagny-En-Vanoise. There are a few things left to say. One is a huge thank you to our sponsors. The North Face, of course, are the title sponsor of the competitions here at the UIAA, and it wouldn't be possible without them. Of course, a big thank you to the UIAA. A thank you to all you guys at home that have tuned in. Don't forget to get in touch using social media, hashtag UIAA Ice Climbing, or drop us a comment in the live chat on Facebook and YouTube. A big thank you to the local organisers and to FF Cam. And a massive thank you to you, Kendra, for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much once more to everybody at home. Do not forget, you can tune in tomorrow. Speed competition. The broadcast will begin at 7:45 Central European time for the Speed Finals. If you want to find out who's going to be crowned the Speed World Champion, tune in tomorrow at 7:45. And as for Lead World Championships, we'll be live here from Champagny-En-Vanoise at 3:15 p.m. Central European time. We'll be very much looking forward to seeing you then. My name's Liam Lonsdale, and until tomorrow, have a very good evening.